Describe the principles of an interlocking guard system. A interlocking guards comprise a system which links the opening of the primary guard to the operation of a second safety device, leading either to the complete stoppage of the machine or to the operation of another guard. What is a trip device? A trip device is a system which stops or reverses the motion of a machine when a person enters the hazard area. Define competence. Competence is defined as those working on electrical equipment must have the necessary knowledge and experience or be under appropriate supervision. Define earthing. Earthing, very low resistance electrical connection to the earth, which, in the event of a fault, will allow excess current to flow away. This flow to earth should trigger the operation of a safety device such as a fuse or a red. Define insulation. Insulation, material of such a high electrical resistance that no electrical current will flow through it. Define protection. Protection, the usual meaning of the word, as we have stressed, protection, which is appropriate to prevent irreparable damage to a piece of equipment, for example, a fuse, may be insufficient. To prevent irreparable damage to a person, the very rapid circuit breaking action of a red is needed to protect people. Define reduced voltage. Reduced voltage, most types of electrical power tool can be produced in versions which operate off volts rather than the normal mains volts. Because of the way the electrical circuits for such equipment are constructed, center tapped, in effect the voltage to which a victim might be exposed is reduced by a factor of 4. However, because volts is still capable of producing a fatal shock, other forms of protection, red, will still need to be incorporated in the electrical circuit. Define excess current protection. Excess current protection. If excess current is flowing in an electrical circuit, something is wrong, and devices such as the fuse and the red are needed to provide the required level of protection. Define residual current device. Residual current device, very fast-acting electrical device which will break the circuit if it detects that electrical current is anyway being spilled from the circuit. That is actually the significance of the word residual. What does double insulation mean? Double insulation is an appropriate form of protection in equipment which no exposed metal parts may not need to be bonded to earthed, and the electrical circuit will comprises line, brown, and neutral, blue. The second level of insulation, double insulation, in such equipment may be provided by plastic casing of the equipment. What is the voltage of a circuit? Voltage is the measure of difference in electrical potential between the two terminals of a circuit. What is the difference between resistance and impedance? In principle, there is no difference as both terms relate to the slowing of the flow of electricity through a circuit. Generally, resistance relates to the components connected to a circuit whereas impedance relates to resistance within the conductor itself. What is a short circuit? A short circuit is formed where another conductor touches the circuit and provides the electricity with an alternative path to a terminal with a larger potential difference than the neutral terminal, usually the earth. What does arcing do? Earthing provides a safe path for any faulty current to be dispersed to earth through a designated conductor. What is the main effect of electric shock on the body? An electric shock results in a convulsive response by the nervous system to the passage of electricity through that part of the body, causing the muscles to contract, often violently. What is arcing and what risks does it pose? Arcing is the electrical bridging through air of one conductor with a very high potential to another nearby earthed conductor. If the arc is connected to a person, The victim may be subject to both a flame burn from the arc and electric shock from the current which passes through the body. There is also a danger of burns from ultraviolet radiation and radiated heat, even where the arc does not actually touch a person. Arcing can also provide a source of ignition for fire. When evaluating the suitability of the construction of electrical systems, the manufacturer's recommendations, the likely load and fault conditions, the probable use of the systems, the need for suitable electrical protection devices, such as overload protection, the environmental conditions which may affect the mechanical strength and protection required. What protection is offered by the cord grip in a plug? A cord grip restricts movement at the point of entry of the flexible cable into the plug, thus preventing abrasion of the cable. It also prevents the conductors being pulled loose from their terminals. What is the difference between a fuse and a circuit breaker? A fuse forms a weak link in a circuit by overheating and melting by design if the current exceeds the safe limit. A circuit breaker is a mechanical device in the form of a switch which automatically opens if the circuit is overloaded. What is the purpose of a fan in an item of electrical equipment? A fan is designed to disperse excess heat generated by the normal operation of the equipment. It is not designed to prevent overheating from electrical faults. What is equipotential bonding? Equipotential bonding is the process of connecting all external metalwork in the system to a common bonding conductor, thus ensuring that all the metalwork is at the same potential and, if any of the metal fittings become live, current will not flow through the system. What is the difference between switching off and isolation? Switching off refers to depriving the equipment of electric power, but still leaving it connected. Isolation refers to physically separating it from any source of electric power, with the additional step being taken of ensuring that it cannot be inadvertently re-energized. What protection is offered by a reduced voltage transformer in a circuit? Reduced voltage circuits reduce the effect of any shock received from making contact with part of the circuit. What are the main elements of a proper system of maintenance? Identification of the equipment which has to be maintained and where, how it is to be used. Discouragement of unauthorized equipment in the workplace. Carrying out simple user checks for signs of damage, for example, casing, plug pins and cable sheath. Formal visual inspections carried out routinely by a competent person. Periodic testing of equipment by a competent person. Systems for the reporting and replacement of defective equipment. Recording of all maintenance and test results along with the inventory of equipment in use. What checks should be carried out before an item of electrical equipment is used? Damage to the cable sheaths, joints or plugs. The equipment has been subjected to conditions for which it is not suitable, for example, it is wet or excessively contaminated. Damage to the external casing of the equipment or there are loose parts or screws. What are the most electrical accidents? Unsafe equipment or installation. Unsafe environment, or unsafe work practices. What is electrical safety rules? 1. Avoid water at all times when working with electricity. Never touch or try repairing any electrical equipment or circuits with wet hands. It increases the conductivity of the electric current. 2. Never use equipment with frayed cords, damaged insulation or broken plugs. 3. If you are working on any receptacle at your home, then always turn off the mains. It is also a good idea to put up a sign on the service panel so that nobody turns the main switch on by accident. 4. Always use insulated tools while working. 5. Electrical hazards include exposed energized parts and unguarded electrical equipment which may become energized unexpectedly. Such equipment always carries warning signs like shock risk. Always be observant of such signs and follow the safety rules established by the electrical code followed by the country you're in. 6. Always use appropriate insulated rubber gloves and goggles while working on any branch circuit or any other electrical circuit. 7. Never try repairing energized equipment. Always check that it is de-energized first by using a tester. When an electric tester touches a live or hot wire, the bulb inside the tester lights up showing that an electrical current is flowing through the respective wire. Check all the wires, the outer metallic covering of the service panel and any other hanging wires with an electrical tester before proceeding with your work. 8. Never use an aluminum or steel ladder if you are working on any receptacle at height in your home. An electrical surge will ground you and the whole electric current will pass through your body. Use a bamboo, wooden or a fiberglass ladder instead. 9. Know the wire code of your country. 10. Always check all your GFCIs once a month. A GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter, is a RCD, residual current device. They have become very common in modern homes, especially damp areas like the bathroom and kitchen, as they help avoid electrical shock hazards. It is designed to disconnect quickly enough to avoid any injury caused by overcurrent or short-circuit fault.
Please give comment and suggestions.
Thank you.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thank for visit our channel. See you next class.
Thank you.